By the age of 30, he had conquered most of the known world, an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt, from the mountains of Afghanistan to the edge of India. Kings bowed before him. Armies feared him. His own soldiers believed he was the son of a god. But Alexander the Great was not born into peace. He was born into violence, into ambition, into a world where weakness meant extinction. And from childhood, he was driven by one terrifying idea, that ordinary greatness was not enough. He wanted immortality, and he would carve his name into history with blood. Alexander was born in 356 BC in Macedonia, a kingdom the Greeks considered uncivilized. But Macedonia was changing. Its king, Philip II, was transforming it into a military superpower. Philip was brilliant, ruthless, and obsessed with conquest, and Alexander grew up watching him dominate Greece. But Alexander's greatest influence came from someone else, Aristotle, one of history's greatest philosophers. He taught Alexander science, politics, literature, and the legends of heroes, especially Achilles. Alexander became obsessed. Achilles wasn't remembered because he lived long. He was remembered because he lived gloriously. And Alexander made a choice early in life. He would rather burn brightly for a short time than disappear into obscurity. One story would define Alexander's psychology forever. When he was a boy, traders brought a massive horse to Philip's court. No one could ride it. The animal kicked violently at anyone who approached. Philip ordered it taken away, but Alexander stopped him. He noticed something nobody else did. The horse was terrified of its own shadow. So Alexander turned it toward the sun. The horse calmed instantly. Alexander mounted the beast and rode it perfectly. The crowd erupted, and Philip looked at his son with awe. According to legend, he said, "My son, seek a kingdom equal to yourself. Macedonia is too small for you." The horse became his lifelong companion. But more importantly, the moment revealed Alexander's greatest weapon. He saw what others missed. In 336 BC, Philip II was assassinated. Alexander was only 20 years old, and immediately his world began collapsing. Greek cities revolted. Enemies surrounded Macedonia. Many believed the young prince would fail instantly. They underestimated him. Alexander moved with terrifying speed. Before rivals could unite, he crushed them one by one. Then came Thebes, one of Greece's most powerful cities. It rebelled against Macedonian rule. Alexander's response shocked the ancient world. He destroyed the city almost completely. Thousands were killed. Survivors sold into slavery. It was brutal, but psychologically devastating. The message was clear. Resistance would mean annihilation. And after Thebes, Greece submitted. Alexander had become king. But he did not intend to stop at Greece. He intended to conquer Persia, the greatest empire on earth. In 334 BC, Alexander crossed into Asia with roughly 40,000 men. Ahead of him stood the Persian Empire, a superpower ruling millions. Its king, Darius III. Most believed Alexander was marching toward suicide, but Alexander believed speed and psychology could defeat numbers. His army moved faster than expected, struck harder than expected, and at the Battle of the Granicus River, Alexander personally led cavalry charges into enemy lines. He fought at the front, not behind the army. His soldiers saw him bleed beside them, and that created fanatical loyalty. To them, Alexander was not merely a king, he was destiny in human form. Alexander had survived his first invasion, but ahead of him waited impossible odds. The deserts of Persia, the armies of Darius. Yet the deeper Alexander marched into Asia, the more dangerous he became. Because victory was changing him. Every conquest strengthened his belief that he was chosen by fate, that he could not fail. And history was about to discover how far one man's ambition could go. There is nothing impossible to him who will try.